Hi guys, in this video I am going to go over some big topics from Module 1. This is to help you review for your final exam for first semester. So up at the top, these are just topics that we learned about in that unit. You can always refer back to your first packet as well, your notes packet, to go back and get some more specifics. I'm going to give you guys a couple formulas to put in this note section. One of them is the midpoint formula, which I'm going to use M for midpoint, but how we find that is if we're given a segment with two ordered pairs, so I'm going to say x1, y1 is one endpoint, and x2, y2 is the other endpoint. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add the two x's and divide by 2, add the two y's, divide by 2, and that is my midpoint, okay? For another formula, we have worked a lot with the Pythagorean theorem, okay? And that is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Remember that we only use Pythagorean theorem for right triangles. C is the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. A and b are the legs, which make up the other two sides of the right triangle. And the last one I'm going to have you write down up here is the distance formula, okay? Distance I can also refer to as length. Okay, so if I wanted the length of the segment, the distance is what's the distance between those 2 points. Here is the formula for that. So we have x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, so we're going to use a couple of these in some examples down below. So the first one is giving me the measure of angle YMC. So YMC is this big angle right here. They're telling me that whole thing is 170 degrees, okay? They want me to find the measure of AMC. So they want me to find this angle right here. Well, in order to do that, I need to solve for X. So we know that by the angle addition postulate, that we can add the two small parts of the angle to equal the whole thing. So here is the equation I'm going to set up. 5x plus 19 plus 5x plus 1 equals 170. I've got 10x plus 20 equals 170 after combining like terms. Subtract 20 and divide by 10. So we now know x is 15, so to find the measure of angle AMC, we can now substitute 15 in for x. So 5 times 15 plus 1 is going to leave us with an angle measure of 76 degrees for angle AMC. Okay, number 2, we're given a segment AB. Okay, so we have A to B. We are told A is at -1, 5. B is at 3, -3. Okay, we want to find the midpoint of AB and the length of AB. So let's start with the midpoint first. So we're just going to use the formula from up above that says add the two x's, divide by 2, add the two y's, divide by 2. So here's like my x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so we have add the two x's, so -1 plus 3 over 2, and 5 plus -3 over 2. Simplifying here, I get 2 over 2, which is 1, and 2 over 2, which is another 1. So this is our, coordinates of the midpoint. When I simplify those fractions, I get the coordinates 1, 1. So 1, 1 is in the exact middle of our segment. Oh, what the heck is that? Okay, 1, 1. There's our coordinates. Okay, now we're going to find the length. So the length of the segment, remember we talked about this, another word for length is distance. So the distance from A to B is also the length of segment AB. So we're going to use our distance formula. And we're going to use x2 minus x1. So we got 3 minus -1 squared plus y2 minus y1. So -3 minus 5 squared. Whenever I have that double negative here, that's going to be turned to addition. So we get 4 squared plus -8 squared. Okay. And -4 squared, is 16. -8 squared is 64. Add those two together and we get square root of 80. Now we do want to put this as a simplified radical. Okay, so I'm going to break this down. Maybe 8 times 10 2 times 4. We can break 4 down even more. So what I'm looking for, remember, is pairs, and I don't want to break down to the point where I'm using 1. So we broke down the 8, broke down the 10, broke down the 4. Here's what I have, 2, 2, 2, 2, 5. So I have a pair of 2s, another pair of 2s, and a 5. The pairs go out front, and if you have more than one, we're going to multiply them, and anything without a pair is underneath. So this simplifies to 4 root 5. So I'm going to put d equals. So there's our midpoint, and there's the length of the segment. Okay, that's the review for Mod 1.